o'clock. Ask that you stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shirley, would you call the roll, please?
Cruz. Here. Ball. Here. Walker.
Here.
Steggy.
Here.
Brian Cruz. Here. Jaczynski. Here. Dale Kalinowski's absent tonight.
Okay, on the meeting agenda for tonight, we have under Department and Committee Reports, item A, the DDA Director's Report. B, we have the report from Operations Services. C, Board of Review is not met, but we will be meeting March 8th. D, Develop Filer Ad Hoc Committee has not met, as has not the Personnel Committee, item E. Item F, the Planning Commission, those minutes are in your packet. And also item G, the Zoning Board of Appeals, recent meeting is in your, minutes are in your packet. Item H, Zoning Administrator's Report is in your packet. Item I, Building Elections Commission has not met. Item J, Building and Grounds Committee, those minutes from the February meeting are in your packet. Fire Department report, I believe, is in the packet. Is that right, Jim? Yeah. I thought I saw it in the packet. Maybe I picked it up off the table. L, no PEG meeting, and M, the sewer report from the city is in your packet. Under new business for tonight, item A is consideration of approval of the presented fiscal year 2023 budget as discussed at the budget hearing held on February 1st, 2022, and appropriate the millage for the purpose of 1.39555 mils for township operating, 1 mil for refuse collection, half a mil for fire and rescue, and a half a mil for the fire bond. Item B, consideration of approval of the DDA budget for fiscal year 2023 as discussed at the budget hearing February 1st. And appropriate the millage. Item C is consideration of approval of the presented wages, salaries, charges, and fees resolution for 2022-2023. Item D is consideration of approval of a resolution to establish the treasurer's annual salary. Item E is consideration of approval of resolution to establish the clerk's annual salary. Item F is consideration of approval of a resolution to establish the supervisor's annual salary. Item G is consideration of approval of a resolution to establish the trustee's annual salary. Item H is consideration of approval to hold the annual spring brush pickup and permission to advertise in the newspaper to seek bids. Actually, item I is the advertise in the newspaper, separate item. Item J is consideration of approval in the amount of $695 plus shipping from Uline for a message center sign with posts for the Township Hall. Item K is consideration of approval of $35,207 to Municipal Underwriters of Michigan for 2022-2023 Par Plan Insurance Renewal and Cyber Liability Coverage Option. Item L is consideration of approval to install a light on the west side of Red Apple Road. This includes a pole and light and a box with meter, not to exceed $8,000 from Great Lakes Energy. Item M is consideration of approval to purchase 1 picnic table for Sunling Park at $900 each, plus $35 for mounting hardware and freight from Uline. If there are no changes to the meeting agenda, Tom, you got a
Consideration of a budget amendment to transfer $24,000 from the fund balance of the general fund to the fire hall bond fund for
okay, I'm sorry, I missed that. Oh, okay.
Sure.
Okay, so to transfer, I'm sorry, 24?
General fund, fund balance of the general fund to the fire hall bond fund.
Okay, and we will make that item N then. Any other changes to the meeting agenda for tonight? If not, I would accept a motion for approval. Motion by Dean Cruz, second by Brian Cruz to approve the meeting agenda for tonight. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Consideration of the approval of the consent agenda for tonight includes item A, minutes of the special board meeting, February 24th, 2022. Item B is the financial report. Item C is approval of the Township General Fund expenditures, including the fire department. Those checks are numbered 39334 through 39411. Accounts payable total $79,053.79. Payroll totals $15,082.58 for a grand total of $94,136.37. Item D is approval of the water department expenditures. Those checks are numbered 2949 through 2955, and they total $17,656.28. Item E is approval of the sewer operating expenditures. Those checks are numbered 1156 through 1157, totaling $587.25. Item F is approval of the monthly ACH payments to the state of Michigan and IRS in the amount of $2,920.67. Item G is approval of the presented 2022/2023 Township Board monthly meeting schedule. H is approval to advertise for Zoning Board of Appeals alternate for a 3-year term ending December 31st of '23. Item I is approval for Planning Commission members to attend the 2022 Master Citizen Planner live webinar series offered April through November of 2022 at a cost of $120 regular registration and $60 for Master Citizen Planners. Item J is approval for Township Clerk to attend MAMC Clerks Conference in Traverse City at a cost of $250 plus accommodations. Item K is approval for a budget amendment to transfer $30,000 from fund balance of the general fund to the Township Board professional services. Item L is approval for a budget amendment to transfer $6,000 from the fire fund balance to fire repair and maintenance. Item M is approval to purchase doggy do-bag mini dispensers to install one at Magoon and one at Sunling Park for $107.18 each from Zorro. And if there are no changes to the consent agenda for tonight, then I would entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion by Stege, support by Achinsky to approve the consent agenda for tonight. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment. Any public comment for tonight? Okay. Moving on then to department and committee reports. Item A, again, your DDA director's report is in your packet for review. Item B, Operations Services monthly report is in your packet. F, the Planning Commission, those minutes from the February meeting are in your packet, as is the minutes from the Zoning Board of Appeals, item G. And item H, Larry's report from the zoning office is in your packet. Item J, the Building and Grounds Committee minutes from February are in your packet. And item M, the sewer report from the city is also in your packet. Under new business, We have item A is consideration of approval of the presented fiscal year 2023 budget as was presented and discussed at the budget hearing on February 1st of 2022, and also approval to appropriate the millage for the purpose of Township operating 1.39555 mills, refuse collection 1 mill, fire and rescue half a mill, and the fire bond half a mill. And I would accept a motion for approval. Motion by Dean Cruz, support by Huchinski to approve the presented fiscal year 2023 budget as was presented at the budget hearing on February 1st, and also to appropriate the corresponding millages. Any discussion? Shirley, you want to do a roll call, please?
Brian Cruz?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Jaczynski? Steggy?
Yes.
Cruz? Ball? Yes.
Item B is consideration of approval of the Downtown Development Authority budget for the fiscal year 2023 as was discussed at the budget hearing held on February 1st, 2022, and to appropriate the corresponding millage.
I will make a motion to approve it.
Okay, motion by Steggy, second by Brian Cruz to approve the DDA's budget for 2023, as well as the appropriation of the millage. Any discussion? Shirley, go ahead.
Walker?
Yes.
Dean Cruz?
Yes.
Ball? Yes. Steggy?
Yes.
Brian Cruz?
Yes.
Jaczynski?
Okay, item C is consideration of approval of the presented wages, salaries, charges, and fees resolution for 2022, 2023. Motion by Brian Cruz, second by Dean Cruz to approve the presented fee resolution for wages, salaries, and charges for 2022, 2023. Any discussion? Jim?
Something different than what's on here for the fire department. I would ask that the weekly meetings, I propose that we change the weekly meetings to training, and that the employees get paid their hourly rate for that, rather than $10 per day.
Okay, I haven't seen that proposal. I think you mentioned it in a phone call, Shirley, but I don't recall that part of it.
We don't really have anything on the nights of training or work weeks and stuff, so I would propose that the members get their hourly rate. Their hourly rates are different for probationary people and people that are at different training levels. And I would propose that the weekly meetings be changed to weekly training and have that paid at an hourly rate. $10 per day.
How many hours generally are for training?
Well, it depends on what kind of training we're doing. We're doing online training, which is at least an hour a month, and then four training sessions during the month, and then like CPR and some of the other required training that the state requires is 1 or 2 hours long.
What's paid now for training?
Well, actually, Jim, turn the page. per hour or minimum, Michigan minimum hourly wage. Way up at the top on the second page. So we can get rid of that weekly meeting line, if that's confusing, because we've got the training covered already.
I don't.
Want to come here? I'll show you.
If that's what's on there, I mean,
Way up at the top. Way up at the top.
I would prefer the training just be an hourly rate rather than.
Well, that's what it is, $10 per hour. So you're good with that?
He wants hourly rate.
The hourly rate would be minimum rather than the $10.
It is $10 per hour.
But everybody's different.
Now,
hourly
everybody,
rate.
we don't make $10 an hour.
Well, this would give you $10.
What-
Proposing 14.50, 14.40.
Oh, you're okay,
So I'm looking at an hourly rate rather than.
up their position.
Up their position, yes. That's what I'm requesting. A little over $10 an hour.
Should we gather up the amount of hours that was last year? Yeah,
488.
Can't pay a lot more. We're already paying them $10 per hour.
Yeah.
Oh, per diem.
So some are $4 more, some are.
Well, no, like $10, no, $10 per hour.
Yes, per
So
hour.
it would be like $4 an hour.
4 or 12, 2 or whatever it is, 12 or 14 or 13.
1320, 1540.
Okay,
Not talking a lot more money.
And you'll have 4 trainings per month?
Yes. Well, depends if there's 52 weeks.
Yeah, and that's in lieu of your weekly meeting, then it's just going to be a training meeting.
Plus the hour online here. This is all coming to a head with the state. They're going to be requiring us to do this training. And it's not getting any better.
We're getting rid of the weekly meeting.
Yeah.
So we're the weekly meeting, and just the training will be hourly rate.
So we'll just remove that weekly meeting item from the schedule. And then the training, instead of 10 per hour, it's going to say the hourly
Per
rate of the individual.
classification or whatever they're.
I'll do my motion to accept those changes as discussed.
And I'll support that motion.
Well, Dean already.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, you're just changing it, sorry. Yeah, okay, so we got a motion by Brian Cruz, second by Dean Cruz, to approve the 2023, or 2022/23 wages, salaries, charges, and fees with the changes noted in the fire department in regard to dropping the weekly meeting and paying hourly rates for training. Hourly rates based on the individual level of license, whether it's fire and rescue, fire only, EMS only, etc. Any other discussion? Okay, go ahead, Shirley.
Dean Cruz.
Yes.
State.
Yes.
Brian Cruz. Yes. Kaczynski. Ball. Yes.
Yes. And I meant to bring up under discussion, and I forgot, I'm just going to toss it out right now real quick. We need to, I think at some point in time here, take a look at our reimbursement fees for meals. You know, I don't recall when the last time we visited that and changed it, but
Maybe we did that about 3 years.
3 or 4 years ago, and things have changed so much, particularly with COVID recently, so I just think we need to revisit that. Okay, moving on to item D is consideration of approval of a resolution to establish the treasurer's annual salary.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ball, second by Hachinsky to approve the resolution establishing the treasurer's salary. Any discussion? And I see what was put on our desk, that's just with a date change on it, yeah, okay. Shirley, go ahead.
Walker,
Yes.
Stady,
Yes.
Kaczynski. Bradford. Ball, yes. Dean Cruz.
Item E is consideration of an approval approval of resolution to establish the clerk's annual salary.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Motion by Dean Cruz, second by Steggy to approve the resolution establishing the clerk's annual salary. Any discussion? Shirley, you want to call the roll, please?
Brian Cruz.
Yes.
Dean Cruz.
Yes.
Kaczynski. Walker.
Yes.
Stady.
Yes.
Ball, yes.
Item G is consideration of approval of a resolution to establish the supervisor's annual salary.
I'll make that motion.
We got a motion by Steggy and a second by Brian Cruz to approve the resolution establishing the supervisor's annual salary. Discussion? Shirley?
Ball, yes. Brian Cruz.
Yes.
Kaczynski. Dean Cruz. Walker.
Yes.
Stady.
Yes.
Item G is consideration of approval of resolution to establish the trustees' annual salary. And I'll make a resolution to approve that resolution.
You need a motion?
I'm sorry, what did I say?
A resolution?
Oh, okay, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution establishing the trustees' salary. Motion by Walker, second by Dean Cruz to approve the resolution establishing the trustees' annual salary. Any discussion? Shirley?
Brian Cruz.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Stady.
Yes.
Kaczynski. Dean Cruz. Ball, yes.
Item H is consideration of approval to hold the annual spring brush pickup. And I guess we can tie that into one. I don't know if, did you touch base with Tammy on that? We got two agenda items there.
Yeah, I think that
I think
probably is just
Just the
rest of that
one.
sentence, but you put an I in.
Yeah,
So yeah, it is all one.
yeah.
Make a motion that we put it out for brush pickup and commercial paper.
And I'll second that motion. Motion by Brian Cruz, second by Walker to approve holding the annual spring brush pickup and advertising in the local newspaper for bids. Any discussion? Okay,
All in favor? I just have
it's a
to
resolution?
sign it because
Okay, well, you know,
having to go get them.
oh, I guess, no, it's not a resolution, I'm sorry, yeah. Okay, all in favor of the motion? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item J is consideration of approval in the amount of $695 plus shipping from Uline for a message center sign with post for the Township Hall.
I'll second.
Motion by Brian Cruz, second by Steggy to approve the amount of $695 plus shipping for the sign, message center sign for Uline for the Township Hall. Discussion? Well, I was just going to bring that up. I know we've had some discussion about putting it near the mailbox there, the drop box. That way, you know, people don't have to get out of their vehicle and walk up, you know, to check it as they do now. Currently, they can just pull up there and check the postings on the sign.
Where we can get to it in weather like this, so it's got to be someplace, you know, that can be plowed or shoveled. So we felt right by the drop box.
So kind of replace the sign that's here by the door.
Yeah.
No, because we have so many postings. Probably won't replace that.
Well, we won't replace it, but it's similar to that.
No, you have a picture of it, here someplace in the packet. It's a standalone, outfit one.
But it is going to be large enough
Well, that's large.
to handle the postings that we do put out here. I mean, we can continue to put them both places, but yeah. So I think, you know, it's just easier for the public when they want to check on a meeting, other than, you know, going to the website. If they happen to be driving by or whatever, it'll be there.
So when we repair that drop box, put a big enough base in there to take care of it.
No, this will be standing separately from that. Yeah. But, you know, right adjacent to it, right next to it, probably to the north. Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor of the motion on the table, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item K is consideration of approval of $35,207 to Municipal Underwriters of Michigan for the 2022-2023 Power Plant Insurance Renewal and Cyber Liability Coverage Option.
So that includes that option?
It does not,
35,000.
no.
No.
The option would be in addition to the $35,207 is just a renewal of our existing policy.
How does that compare to last year?
It's
It's
up.
up quite a bit.
It was 32 last year.
Did we have a separate
No.
last year?
Yeah, we didn't have any cyber coverage last year, but with everything going on in the world today, it might not be a bad idea.
What's recommended for cyber coverage?
Was it option?
When I talked to municipal underwriters, they were processing, they currently process 2 claims. One was from a large township, and it was a $50,000 claim. They were processing another one, which is a smaller township, which is more like ours, which was like a $5,000 claim. So I think maybe the lesser, the $50,000 claim would be the better option. So I think the $5,000 claim would be the better option.
Yeah, we didn't have any cyber coverage last year, but with everything going on in the world today, it might not be a bad idea.
damage there might be okay, but who knows?
If we don't get hit any harder than the smaller township got hit that they had to
Right.
deal with, option one would cover it, but you never know. And I have to say, probably in the past year, I've gotten at least half a dozen emails that, and I know Tom has and Shirley has, questionable sources, and just got one yesterday from
Janet Yellen?
Janet Yellen.
Well,
Yeah.
did you? I got one too from her.
Yeah, right. And,
It's on the news today about watching their bank accounts and
Yep,
everything.
yep.
Cyber stuff.
yep, so,
Well, they did give us some pointers on what to do during all of this turmoil here, so we've been following that.
I think we should have something for that. Make a motion that we keep the policy for 35207 and go with option 2. This is slightly better.
I'll second that motion. So we have a motion by Brian Cruz, second by Walker, to approve the renewal of the township's PAR plan with municipal underwriters in the amount of $35,207, and add the cyber liability coverage option 2, which is an annual premium of $784 with a $2,500 deductible.
Now, we did have to apply for that, so I went ahead and filled out the application for it, so, you have to be approved. I haven't heard anything yet. So, we are approved to go for the second option.
Yeah, that really, the cost difference between option 1 and 2 is minimal. And the amount of coverage is quite a bit more than option 1. Any other discussion? Shirley, you want to do a roll call, please?
Walker?
Yes.
Jacinski?
Yes.
Dean Cruz?
Yes.
Vogt? Yes. Davey?
Yes.
Brian Cruz?
Item L is consideration of approval to install a light on the west side of Red Apple Road. This would include a pole and light and with box and meter, not to exceed $8,000 from Great Lakes Energy.
Can we put cameras on it?
That's the benefit of going with, basically, this would be option 2. This has been a long time in the process, dealing first with consumers and then with Great Lakes Energy, and, initial conversations with Great Lakes, them not even knowing whether they could cross the road into consumers' territory or not, but I finally did get a call from a representative of Great Lakes Energy by the name of Steve Warner out of Traverse City. This was about a month ago, and I'm still waiting for something in writing from him, but he did, after looking at the site, and I asked him for a couple different options, he did get back to me, and this again is just all phone conversation. He said if we went with a light pole on the east side of Red Apple, we could get a 16-foot arm with LED light. It'd be nice and bright, but that would be it, just the light. And that would be, he said, approximately $5,500. He said they could go under Red Apple Road and bring wiring to the west side of Red Apple and mount a meter base on the west side of our stone wall there. And then, we would have to, this is what he said, we'd have to buy our own light. I'm not sure why yet. But anyway, we could get a light on the west side then with a meter base there, and that way, you know, I talked to him about us wanting to be able to put cameras up in that, and we'd be able to do that. Plus, the added benefit would be that, you know, if we ever wanted to run power out to the park, to the pavilion, or the, you know, parking area or anything like that, you know, we'd be much more ready to do it with this option. And this option, he said, again, this is ballpark, I haven't gotten anything in writing on it yet, but that would be $6,200. So not knowing on the light and the pole, when I presented it to Building and Grounds, I said, based on what this guy's told me, I think we can do it for, you know, within those confines of under $8,000. So that's why they put the proposal in to the board for this at not to exceed $8,000.
What
So-
exactly is this?
Where?
Yeah.
At Magoon Park entrance.
Oh, okay.
You know, we've had a lot of issues out there.
Yeah, okay. It just says on west side of Red Apple Road. That
Oh,
could be
yeah,
anywhere.
yeah,
I
yeah.
Consumers, we
yeah.
couldn't get power. Great Lakes is on the east side, so they're gonna run it under.
Right. And to what I was told by consumers, was this about a year ago that we started talking about this? You know, they gave me, again, it was only a ballpark figure because they didn't do any engineering or anything like that on it yet, but he said ballpark is probably going to be around 30 grand to run it from where the power ends
Yeah,
to the park.
it's crazy.
And since Great Lakes already has the power there, but like I say, when I first contacted them, they weren't even sure if they could do that. And it took a long time to get anything back from Great Lakes, but finally it's gotten moving, so. And I'm, at this point, I am, you know, I asked this Steve Warner to get me something in writing, and he wanted to set up a site visit with me, and but he was out there, and I talked to him on the phone and told him I can send you a pin on Onyx Maps if you want, because when I went out there, I picked a spot, and put a pin down, and so, but I told him basically where I was standing, and he said, yeah, I got a good picture on it, but before we do, you know, the final on it, he wants to meet out there and go through everything. So I'm waiting on a call back from him to set up that meeting, and then hopefully get something in writing.
I like the idea of having power on our side of the road. If we ever go to an electronic gate or something like that, there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a motion to approve that.
Okay, motion by Brian Cruz, second by Dean Cruz, to install a light on the west side of Red Apple Road, which would include a pole and light and a box with meter, not to exceed $8,000 from Great Lakes Energy. Any other discussion? Shirley, you want to go ahead and do a roll call?
Dean Cruz. Stuckey.
Yes.
Brian Cruz. Walker.
Yes.
Paul. Yes. Kaczynski.
Item M is consideration of approval to purchase one picnic table for Sunling Park at $900 plus $35 for mounting hardware and freight from Uline.
I think we had that discussion before. We kind of tabled it because it was, would be a problem by putting a picnic table there at night when they got close neighbors. We're gonna get complaints.
Well, we talked about that at Building and Grounds, Tom, and it, you know, it could be, I mean, we lock that gate at sunset as well as we do at Magoon, and when we discussed it at Building and Grounds last month, and that issue came up, you know, they said, well, if it becomes a problem, we can always remove it.
Well,
So,
it certainly was a problem 25 years ago.
well,
And I can't imagine it's going to be less of a problem today.
Before you have fines.
Oh, believe me, they had parties.
I had a lot of fun at those parties.
So then you know what happened.
No. It's a bigger area, our neighbors, that's 100 feet wide, and our neighbors are both sides, and across the road.
Do we have any neighbors, though, that are near the entrance on west side of the wall?
West, believe me, it goes, you can hear it across the street too. Yes, you do. You've got somebody right there immediately to the north. It's only a 66-foot wide place, you know.
Right, but,
So-
but the residence is further to the west along the lake with a lot of trees in between.
Believe me, I could hear the parties at my house.
I don't believe that.
That was what I had good hearing about. Yeah. No, I get it.
Would the picnic table go?
It would be, well, the gravel parking area on the west side of the gate, where that ends and there's grass, would probably be, you know, back into the grass a ways. You know, we've had some discussion about a vault toilet at that location, so it wouldn't be, you know, I can't imagine it would be that far away from the parking area,
That's off the ground.
but maybe 20, yeah, right.
Well, it used to be, it used
You're right
to
next to the
even,
porta there.
yes, for the bathroom. That parking lot used to go closer to the bluff. And one reason when they were having parties over there, people were driving closer to the bluff and parking and then having their parties, but you could hear it all over. You know, that lake acts like an amplifier. And so that's where they,
Can you hear the lake?
oh yeah.
Does it bother you?
Oh,
Do we
well,
do anything with that?
do anything with the lake? No, I like that.
I'll make a motion that we accept, get that picnic table.
I'll second the motion. Got a motion by Brian Cruz, second by Walker, to approve a picnic table for Sunling Park in the amount of $900 plus $35 for hardware and freight from Uline. Any other discussion?
We're making a mistake, but
We haven't voted.
Yeah.
We haven't voted. And maybe we just have to, if it gets approved, we'll just have to put the word out there. Hey, if you want to keep this, no loud parties that are going to wake Shirley up.
we have to monitor with Boone Creek, we got with Boone Creek with all kinds of picnic tables, nice picnic area.
Yeah,
They can drive in there, bring our hours to maintain that.
yeah.
You're gonna be getting the call, not me.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I just look at the amount of use that Sunling gets. It gets a lot of use, and they're, you know, again, I can't believe we've had this many years that we haven't had a restroom facility there, you know, for people using the beach.
I'm in agreement with the restroom and the people using it and making it nice for people to use. But I think we're gonna cause trouble by putting a table there for kids to come sit on and party at night and play music and disturb the neighborhood.
What's the difference in sitting
My
on
only
the ground?
They come to
Can you
both.
sit on the ground?
They
I used to
don't.
drive to the end, like you were
Yeah,
talking.
they don't sit on the ground because there hasn't been any problems out there that I know of lately about loud noise like that.
So one picnic table that holds 6 people is gonna blow the place out.
I'm gonna watch a lot of summer movies.
You need to put the picnic table that close so you can watch.
Okay, let's call the question here. Go ahead. You want to do a roll call vote, Shirley? 'Cause
Let's do that.
You're thinking it's, you're not going to be able to distinguish between yeas and nays?
Well, I want to know who to call that night when it happens.
Well, you know who's going to get the call.
Well, I don't know. I might get the call.
No,
Hutchinsky? Brian Cruz?
Yes.
Paul? No. Dean Cruz?
Well, we can move it. Only yes.
Where would you be moving it?
Right
To his house.
to
Stakey?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
4 yeas, 2 nays.
Okay.
If we're wrong, we can bring it down to the hall.
Well, we can move it to Magoon. You can always use more picnic tables there. Okay. Item N is consideration of a budget amendment to transfer $24,000 from the fund balance of the general fund to the fire hall bond fund for the final bond payment. That is the final payment, huh? Wow.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second the motion. So we got a motion by Ball, second by Walker to transfer $24,000 from the fund balance of the general fund to the fire hall bond fund for the final bond payment. Any discussion? Okay, Shirley?
Baczynski?
Yes.
Dean Cruz?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Brian Cruz? Paul? Yes. Stakey?
Yes.
Public comment?
Paul Lancer, just like to thank you for looking into the lighting and the filing. I've worked 25 years ago at the county or board, drove the board, been president and glad to see that happening. Old parks are natural beauty, massive to our township. I enjoy the traffic, whether you think that's weird or not, I think it's great to just keep come and visit. I don't see it as a problem. I have visitors that will walk down our road, but for the most part, it's improvements in the park are, I think, are great. And we've talked to so many different people that travel from all over. I don't think it's parties. It's a lot of rock hounds, and that's why they're so busy. We have great rocks, or glass rocks, or whatever kind of rocks we're looking for. It's well used on Sundays in the parks, up above, and tables and stuff, so thank you for that. And one other comment I would make is a little consideration in Violet Township. One particular section is between 12th and Berkey, the hill going up with all the, it's well-traveled route, the school there. Yeah, funerals went up the hill. I know there's a problem there, or has been a problem there with water main breakage. I think that water main breakage is probably going to stop now because there was a problem with a gas line that was charging the water lines, piping of the road, which was Michigan line. I don't know if there's any talks to improve that section, to grind it or pave it. Then maybe talks to consider that section.
Thank you, Paul. Regarding the Maple Street, we have been going round and round on that for about, 3 years now with the road commission. It is slated for 2023, their project now. We were told that, I want to say 3 years ago.
Yeah, I guess
And-
there's no desire, it takes an addition because somebody has to say something and talk to them about it.
Well, we felt there were opportunities to do it, and we offered, from the township standpoint to work with the county on it, but we got nowhere. And
Well, I think right now, the 2023 one
It's-
is going to be paid for not by us at all, so.
right, it's
State.
revenues, license revenues, I believe.
We're doing all the way to Murphy, and then Murphy all the way to Iowa.
Okay.
We're still needed, they're doing.
And
Probably
And-
the plans for the detour when they do the memorial bridge is also that part of that.
Yeah, and I was told that Murky, from Maple to 31, that portion of Murky,
They brought Brian, you gotta drive the bicycle. Not very far. Bus terrible. It's bad. And
You know what, and
We
we
know it.
argue, and we go to the meeting, we go to the road commission meetings every month, we represent them.
We even offered 1 year or so ago, put a day code on it, you know, day for it, but
when they were doing the work on 12th Street.
false
They were working on both.
They won't let us touch it.
Not been home for a year or two. They were doing.
Well, it's a year
Next
off.
year, we're
Year
over.
off.
What's that, Tom?
It's a year off, I guess, that's all.
Yeah, yeah.
And we don't have to pay.
Yeah, we don't have to pay, but when we were first told that, you know, it was a long way, it was 4 years off, and, you know, we were hearing a lot of
No, I know.
complaints about it at that time, so. But thank you.
I know you know about it, but
Yeah,
somebody doesn't bring it up.
yeah. Well, we hear about it occasionally.
And the township won't pay for our tires either, Paul.
That,
You know?
Any other public comment? Okay, anything else to come before the board tonight? Dean, have you got anything? No? Tom?
Did you get any complaints on not picking up the garbage when they delayed it because of the ice?
No, not that I know of.
I didn't hear anything. I'm not sure that everybody got the word because a lot of totes were put out a day early. So,
I put mine out on Saturday, normally it's Friday, and they didn't, nobody stopped, and I brought it back in to the point.
You mean they never pick it up on Saturday?
No.
Well, they should have because they were 1 day late.
Yeah,
Huh,
you're picking on me.
I guess.
I know it disguised my.
You know what that means?
well, I had a couple of calls though from people that didn't get picked up on Saturday, and they had it out. One person told me 8:15 it was out, and then all their neighbors were picked up and theirs wasn't, so.
I thought it was President's Day, why they didn't come.
No, it had something to do with ice in the city, they got delayed a day, so, yeah.
I guess I said something to Tammy when this happened 2 weeks ago, when we had ice and they delayed it, that this is new to us, that they delayed picking up garbage because of ice, but I said to Tammy, if the Republic posted for the city, they should include 500, because our Thursday, Friday pickup is in coordination with the city.
Yeah.
The same guy comes to the city when he does our area down here, so the routes are changed there, they're changed here.
Yeah.
And that's the way they work it.
Okay, Shirley, you got anything? Brian? Tom?
Did we ever get any bids on the park down there, the roofing on the?
No, we did not get any bids, and I talked a little bit with Building Grounds about just contacting contractors and asking for a bid.
Just wondering.
Yeah, no, we didn't get any, and we need somebody to look at this roof, obviously. It's the issues we had over the old water office, and now Tom saw water dropping off there,
Well,
so.
we looked at that yesterday. We couldn't see any stain at all.
Well, it was driven because he saw it, I saw it, you're looking into the light.
Yeah, so we've got a, I mean, visually, you know, from when we had them come and do the one repair along the, behind the wall, along the roof line, and they checked everything out, and the roof looks good, but we got to get somebody, I think we got to get somebody up in the attic and do a real good inspection. So. I have nothing further, so with that, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment. Motion by Brian Cruz, second by Dean Cruz. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Meeting's adjourned.